achieving the right balance. Okay, in 3. Today we will see some model of control issue, and then company rules, control of discipline, which is the inter control of HR balance. So all of these will be the component of the controlling part of the HRM to make sure that we can balancing some input or resources in the company. And then there are the key area of applying internal control. Okay. Then what we can say is how to align the strategy to our area. So we go to this. Okay, on this unit, we will see that what is the different approach of the child. There are many approaches. And then we will discuss the various components of HR, the focusing to doing the balancing act, and then applying control and how to organize the align HR and business strategy to achieve the balance. So there are certain terms which is very new to you. What's the meaning of strategy? It's there must be a certain of development inside that. Okay, you don't see that any development activity doesn't meaning that the company doesn't do anything about the strategic term in any activity in the company. There must be sense of development, sense of enhancement, changes in anything. But the more accurate, okay, the more what I could say is appropriate when speaking about strategy is the costing, is the profit, and also is the period on completing certain tasks. Okay. So most of the company in Malaysia are striving toward attaining a strategic balance between management and HR and the long-term goal. So we can see that it's not easy for the company to maintain, okay, to do anything on strategic term, because all strategic is meaning they must have a software, they must have a system, they must have orderly policy, okay, they must have certain development or costing in terms of human capital. So it consumes, so it needs some effort of the company to be more to sense of looking about the future. Okay, it's not easy. It's not easy to asking the board of directors to look more on the future, whereas some of the company have a limited resources on to sustain, okay, to make sure they can operating their company on current situation. Okay, so learners will learn about different components, achieving organization balance. So a firm can ensure that the proper functioning by establishing a system that oversees all the activity happening daily. So some goals. These goals can be achieved through an establishment of documentation and system analysis of employee responsibility. So what is actually the balancing act? Okay, this is the quadrant, the fundamental area of concern in HR activity, okay, towards the strategic term. So if you look at the fundamental of human resource, the normal human resource is we do some kind of recruitment, selection, and then we do evaluation process, and then development, and then we do succession planning, and through that, the last part is the remuneration, reward, everything is in the component. But in terms of strategic term, the managers must work toward ensuring three fundamental areas that are concerned to cover the daily HRM activities. The element of related to designing employee role and managing team in a way that in optimum the performance. So this is all what we can say the fundamentals. So we must look, the company must look at their resources. Most common in the performance, they must look on what? On their asset, or what we call, say, the term of human resource is what? Not asset checking. The human resource, what we call it?
Human capital.
Human resource inventories. Okay, the human resource inventories. Okay, for that. So look, we see on the inventories, or we can see what is the list of the employees, what is their experience, what is their skill, and then what is their expertise. Okay, we call it the inventory. And then the second part is the challenges part. Okay, when we're looking about the challenges, we also look about the lack of technology, sometimes lack of technology, which is somehow most of the component of the challenges part is not, it cannot be controlled by the organization. That's why we call it as the challenges component. Okay, and then another one is performance support. Anything that additionally that the company can give with the competitive advantages of the company itself. For example, maybe the company is one and only producer of this product in certain country. That is, we can get a performance support to of easiest of the company on looking the appropriate employees. Okay. Another one maybe the system that they have. System that they have can create a good performance support to the employee or even to the company itself. Okay, this is the resources lah. Okay, they include all job related resources, employees that execute their responsibility. So in terms of that, some of the interpretation on these resources is financial or non-financial reward. Okay. So you have a link. What I explained earlier about the resources that they have. Maybe some of the employees are very skillful, and how they deliberate the work, the autonomy, and then it's most of the time at this level, the management can also grant employee access to information relating to their work. Okay, the benefit arrived in this process, when looking at the first side of human resource activity, is to improve customer service, to building trust, and then to increase it for profitability. If you look at the term of empowering business leaders, all of these are some of the element. It's not all of the element, which is some of the important element in the resources area or activity in human resource towards the strategic term. Okay, on the strategic, usually they're looking on customer service, how to build trust to the employee and the consumer. Because if you get trust on the employee, surely the customer service of the company will be good, and then increase in profitables, and also it will give to the empowering the business leader towards that. Jangan cantik-cantik ya guys. Just tengok je, jangan cantik-cantik. Okay. Company that provide access to resources give different stakeholders a privilege to understand the critical process in the firm. As a result, they will contribute to the decision-making process. Thus, it will reduce the incident. So, on the human resource part, when you looking on strategic, you must allow all the employees to also involve in the decision-making. In somehow to build a good trust to the employee. since they feel the company trusts them with some of the value resources in their workplace. They will therefore help the company to building a reputable brand in the market. So as you can see that these four elements for not affected for what we call item in the section of resources will give some sort of strategic what I could say tactic, okay, strategic tactic on the company itself on how they can get the sustainability influence in the organization. Okay, number two is performance support. Okay. These component elements explain the different type of hindrance at the workplace which can have an impact on their effectiveness of employee performance. Two, the management should therefore identify the reason why employees are underperforming in their respective role. Okay, significant way to improve the performance is to clear communication, develop a tools on improving employee morale, consistency in using the performance appraisal, human resource development, empowering employees, and utilizing the right form of technology. All of this section is the component that we can see of how we can have a good strategic HRM execution. Okay, kita nak execute kan, so kita kena tahu on performance support which area that we must look on it. Okay, and then challenge. The set of problems that arise in the organization relating to the management of human resource, typically area of concern including urgency, magnitude of the workload, responsibility, and complexity of the task. Some of it, the challenging of it, we cannot control the employee satisfaction. It's about the emotion. It's not easy for us to control. One of the challenging part. Some is the term of human resources should ensure that arising problem are handled through the right channel within the right time and avoiding poor performance. This urgency magnitude of the workload, okay, is not really controlled by the company itself. It's also get the pressure from the demand of the customer itself. Okay, and then the responsibility and policy of the staff also come to forward to the what we call it. When it goes to the resources, then you see the customer service, is it right? When the customer service need the attention of the employee to give a good services to the consumer, for example. So it gives a part of challenging in terms of how the employee could respond. How is the task can be so complicated when some of the details of the task doesn't or does not given to the employee. Okay, itu masalah. Toward the challenging, toward of these three, okay, three triangle structure, fundamental concern in social activity, it can be not the definition, okay, it can be a sense of point for the managers to oversee, okay, to oversee these three components of the channel activity to align with the strategy of the employee of the company, okay, towards the HRM. Okay, how to control that? How to control? We have a lack of resources. How to make sure the company have good support, and how to overcome the challenges. So there are a sense of internal control for HRM balance to make sure that we didn't enforce to focus on customer service and suddenly we didn't look at the workload of the employee itself. Nampak tak dia ada gitu. How we want to make it a balance. The HR manager use internal control to ensure employee in the organization work within the company rules and regulations. In the case where employee go against the company, Biasa bulan puasa ni. Pening sikit kan. Hmm. In a case where employees go against the company policy, the HR department and the relevant authority take disciplinary action against the person. Thus, the primary aim in internal control is to guide employees on how they can focus on working within the company. Okay. You can see that, okay, in this demand, in this triangle, some of the requests of the employee may be overruled, okay, overrule the resources that they have. Some may be in the state of the company could stand on the request. Contoh dia lah, if the employee wants the new technology such as AI to help them sustain their job, itu mungkin menyebabkan component of costing. Okay. So how we want to make sure that the demand of the employee, it will be under control. Model of control. Okay. Organization can communicate with aspects of the form of employee through the company policy and employee handbook. Okay lah. Certain model of control and employee handbook, make sure that they can overrule back. In this level, HR define different type of violation happens to the employees. Okay. So the first model of control is employee handbook, policy and employee handbook. So why there are company having a good employee handbook or some policy of HR before to make sure that they can control their resources. They can control their resources, they can managing their challenges. Then control issue. If the management use internal control to the implementary of policy and plan, the HR division can therefore decide how to control should be applied. How to control the issue? Usually, what they do is to relate the employee performance components such as quality, quantity, and completion of rate. On the other hand, the HR department will just really control to oversee how employees are rewarded. So, from the employee handbook, the easiest for the employer to control their employee towards of performance. So you see the resources on the policy part, kita tengok dekat sana. On the resources part in the first side dekat atas, okay, to make sure they can control on the resources they have. On the performance support, they have a employee handbook. Okay, within the employee, they can control certain issue coming from the challenging part yang sebelah kiri. There are three triangles, okay? Okay, they control the issue using the terms of instrument, we call it as employee handbook, to make sure that they control the behavior of the employees. Okay. The rule of regulation of the firm are essential element in self control is the responsibility to ensure that employee level management structure understand the type of role exhibited in the business. So to avoid any resistance, when they have the employee handbook as the model, then they also have certain procedure. Kalau you ada handbook, itu ada procedure. Procedure is company rules. So sure, it's easier for us to control any issues. They must see other parallel. And then discipline in HR should be implied that the action that prevent the employee to making more mistake. After they have get some standard operating procedure, so a sense of control is implementation. So usually the implementation we put as some kind of what we can say action on overrule the what you can say the procedure, okay, overrule the procedure, overrule the law in the organization. So you dah nampak kat sini the component of strategic HRM to make sure it balance you must have the model. Okay. The model is handbook lah. Okay. With the handbook, model is something that is physics. Okay. You have something in order for them to follow. And then after that, you have some of rules, procedure, standard operating procedure, SOP, everything. Then after that, you have a certain of implementation and that, which is the measurement part to control the issue. Okay, faham I think all you faham. All of this used for what? To make sure that the three triangle, resources, challenging, and performance support will be balanced. Balanced. Okay, faham Okay. Right. The key area on applying internal control. Nah, internal control yang nilai tadi. Okay, the model, the implementation, the SOP, the action planning, and also in terms of how they control the issues. And there will be the key area on applying internal control batches. Assignment outside the business premise. Itu yang pertama. The HR department category different issue that require internal control into various group. They are discussed in the following sub-unit. Maksud sub-unit macam mana? Okay, from the three component of the human resource activity, they turn up to having the control, the instrument of the control, the internal control as a child balance. Towards what? Okay, how to do it? They have the key area on applying the control element tadi. So in what? Assigning outside the business premise. The policy aim to ensuring every task that require of the employee to leave the company premise. The policy aim at ensuring every task that requires any employee to leave the company premise is reported, documented, approved and assessed in the for its effectiveness. Apa saja kerja di luar, okay? Di luar what we call it, pejabat, okay? Di luar office lah, okay? Mesti dilaporkan dan ada evidence. And then before they go, they must get the approval. Okay. In this level, the failure of employee to follow the company guidelines may affect the company reputation in the market. As a result, the business can lose customer. But ada kat sini. Okay, most of the company have. Okay, one of the strategic term on the HRM mesti ada handbooks. Company handbook, how to do it, how to control it, and then how to apply. The first, the strategy, key element, any outside of the business premise must be reported. Whatsoever. Now we have work from home, they must do same. You do it dekat luar, so you can report lah. Yeah, right. Then number two, leaving reporting. This element cover all issue arise the employee absence or the workplace. In this case, this might be inaccurate compensation for different form of leave, such as vacation, sickness. Record keeping SB, different impact of the employee and the employees. So leaving reporting, kita sakit apa semua ni kena make sure that the reputation company can adopt different approach such of communicating the leave practice to all business unit across the organisation. Cuti ni pun melibatkan effectiveness of the organisation. So some contohlah, siapa kerja bank rakyat? Siapa kerja bank rakyat? Ada di sini. You working with bank rakyat.
Saya.
Cuti raya pun dia plan.
Saya.
Betul.
Betul.
This is one of the living reporting. If you didn't manage your cuti, so usually it will affect the company reputation and also why they want to. Satu lagi living reporting ni itu salah satu which one of the way on the activity of strategic human resource. So jangan susah hati kenapa cuti tu diganti-ganti atau di-shufflekan. So because of this, they need to do that. Because what? The record keeping may be different impact on employee and the employer. Therefore, the management should ensure that there is a framework to determine the term and consideration of this type of living. Dekat situ, kat sini kita buat dekat sini. The leave reporting system should be information, okay, about different reason for the type of leave that the employee wish to apply. Periodic reporting required and mostly done after every month to monitor the progress of the employees. Dekat sini. Okay. So now you faham lah why they manage the cuti and everything in the early years ataupun 2 or 3 years before, to make sure all the activity of the company will be operating while the certain of the staff on leaving or what. Okay, dan kita tak percaya, macam mana boleh leave planning ni one of the strategic term? Yes, it's about costing of the organization. Okay, salah satu lagi yang sexual harassment. Okay, why this can be one of the strategic activity? Key area of applying internal control. Kenapa perlu this? Okay, this area covered all the issue arise with sexual advance that are against that will be one party. This the adverse effect of the company since it create a hostile working environment and might also lead to low productivity due to the low moral. Sibuk dengan kacau sana, kacau sini. So the company will have a trouble in that. So if the company have this kind of trouble, the company have absolutely having a very demoral of the organization, or demoral of the employee performance. Usually salary performance employee akan turun when sexual harassment are coming to them as a victim, and also as the person who doing that also sometimes the performance of themselves also will be decreasing. Okay, pasal nak tengok orang je kan, tak buat kerja macam tu. Okay, the management should what? Therefore, develop policy guiding employee in how to handle themselves to avoid such cases. So dia buat apa? Dia do dekat sini, dia buat dekat sini. What they do on the control and disciplinary. SOP dah ada, okay? SOP dah ada, issue dah ada, so model dah ada. So you just what? Do the implementation, apply. Okay. Key area yang you kena tengok. The first, okay, if the company have a what do you call it? Outstation job. And then number 2, to plan their leave. Okay, number 3, look back on any of the problem in the harassment activity in the organization. Okay, compliance of employment laws. Any rules that you have in the organization must be complied to the employment law of Malaysia. This type of internal control aim to ensuring that a company have complied with all of the employee rules regulated set by the relevant authority. Jangan kita ubah-ubah. Because the consequences of range from the both financial and non-financial losses, such as having a bad public image. Okay, ini kita tengok. There is a need for the periodic review of the hiring rules, so the organization remain updated about new requirement in terms of the employee compliance. Sekarang ni gaji minimum berapa sekarang?
1,500.
1,200.
Alamak.
1,500.
1,500.
1,500 belum enforce.
Belum enforce.
Already enforced lah. I remember.
Already enforced last year.
Yeah.
Okay, dengar. 1,005 is already enforced, but they asking for 1,008 for this coming new parliamentary apa dah. Dia nak naik lagi 1,800.
Yeah.
Dan ada lagi papers ya. Selepas ini nak naik lagi 2,000. And then ada lagi satu papers, if the degree, the minimum salary must be 2,200. Degree, for the degree. Minimum salary in whatever field must be 2,200 on the degree. So degree, kalau you ambil degree student, tak boleh gaji kurang daripada 2,200. Ada paper ni. Tunggu. So siapa ada
Tapi Prof, daripada baca gaji fresh graduate dah stagnant for about a decade now in Malaysia.
Memanglah. Saya dulu gaji degree saya 1,600 tahun 1909 tahun berapa saya bekerja 99 tahun 99
78.
tahun 99 gaji degree saya gaji awal 1,600 masa tu. Sekarang dah berapa tahun, dah 20 tahun lebih gaji degree berapa?
Kurang. 2,200.
That's
2000.
that's why
My
ada yang
company 3,000 something degree.
Around
3,000
that.
to 200 actually.
2008 pun ada lagi.
So that's why the cabinet asking the minimum salary of the staff is 1,500 is approved already, but they want increasing to 1,800.
Doktor, dia asyik increase tapi kita punya mata wang asyik turun pun no point eventually burden all the companies saja because the operating cost getting higher and then but the price getting lower.
Yalah. Okay. Never mind, we asking Malaysia to have a dollar lah after this.
Yeah, good.
Don't use the ringgit. Same with Brunei, they have a currency of dollar and currency of ringgit. Okay, usually we can do like this lah. On the controlling the activity on our ringgit. So in our society internally, all the for domestic use, everyone need use the ringgit Malaysia punya currencies. For externally, if they want to trade outside, maybe foreigners, so they must change the currency to Malaysian dollar, okay, to make sure that our currency of dollar outside will be increasing. For international term, macam Brunei buat, they using Brunei dollar. Okay, that's why kita boleh control sendiri our currency in Malaysia. So kita boleh tag our currency to, for example, to be fixed to maybe 3.5 or 3.8 for ringgit Malaysia. But we floating our currency in Malaysia dollar in the market. Nampak tak dekat situ? Tapi Malaysia tak tahu dia nak buat ke tak nak buat. Mungkin dia tak berani ke apa ke. Macam itulah.
Tapi Doctor, is this so far only Brunei did so or there is many country also using this double currency practice?
China, they have their own currency domestically and then they're using internationally renminbi. China pun ada.
Tapi doktor, ini zaman Dr. Mahathir dulu dah buat dah float kita punya currency kan doktor kan?
Tapi zaman Dr. Mahathir, dia buat satu currency saja. So, currency kita ni, kita kena trade juga currency kita. So, kena ada satu currency yang boleh berlawan di luar. Macam tu. Okay. Yang you tengok sendiri di mana ya? Ada satu negeri. I forgot. Ada satu di mana? Di Eropah. Okay? Di Eropah. Every single country, France, okay?
Euro.
Jerman, dia ada euro. Tapi internally domestic dia ada currency.
Dia ada.
Yes. So
betul.
dia tak ada masalah.
Swiss franc masih lagi ada.
Yes. Macam tu.
But now they're all using euro and there's no more Swiss franc and French duit apa semua tak ada lah.
Ada, masih ada guna. Masih digunakan. They are not obligate not to use their own currency. Dia boleh guna. Okay? Boleh guna currency dia. Dia boleh pilih masa je boleh tolak euro tu. Tak ada masalah.
Macam kes Brunei, dia ada bilateral dengan Singapore. That's why Brunei and Singapore, they have the same currency, dia punya rates.
Yeah, because dia ada Brunei dollar. Boleh buat, tapi tak tahulah Malaysia tak nak buat. I don't know. Benda boleh bincang kan. So, now what happened to Malaysia? So, kita yang suffer kan.
Prof,
Will be there any impact if they want to switch to dollar mean?
No?
I mean in manpower side actually.
Okay. If we have our currencies, that we tag our currency as floating, not floating, ringgit Malaysia in dalam negeri. Kita tak floating kan. So, we can control our domestic punya product. Okay. Domestic product kita boleh control because we still have resources. We still have besi. Yeah? We still have, dekat dalam, okay, kita produce our society inside with our own currency that we control. We not floating. Kita tak floating that currency. So we control our cost. Some of the product that we produce, tempatan locally, we can control the price. Kita tak adalah sampai naik, turun tiba-tiba kan. Contoh kita ada sawit. Kita gunakan that pricing sawit. So tak adalah minyak kelapa sawit tiba-tiba mahal. Dia begitu. Kan? Minyak kita boleh float, gunakan currency di luar untuk kita punya dollar. Gunakan Malaysian dollar. Tak ada problem tentang tu. Yang penting kita kena kontrol di dalam dulu. Use our own currency outside. Maybe some macam tu tak logik kan, tapi boleh buat, tak ada problem pun. Okay, nak control our currency to go outside terlalu banyak. Okay, bila go outside terlalu banyak, nanti Malaysia kena beli balik duit tu. Masukkan balik. So macam mana nak cari duit tu? So currency akan jadi naik lah. Kan? Kalau nak keluar, okay, foreigners, you kena tukar Malaysian dollar, baru boleh keluar. Okay lah, macam tu. Ini boleh tahu dia ada satu factor fiscal policy yang kita kena jaga sebenarnya.
Tapi simple matematik je Prof. Kalau kita ekspor barang, duit kita akan makin tinggi. Kalau kita import barang, itu yang buat duit kita makin jatuh tu. Betul Prof?
Biarlah jatuh dan turun guna dolar, jangan guna ringgit. Macam tu. Biar je. Sekarang ni kita kena protect anything resources yang kita di dalam, protect dulu. Okay? Jangan disebabkan kita punya import and export tu menyebabkan currency kita ni teruk. Tapi kita sendiri di dalam boleh buat makanan kita sendiri. Boleh, tak ada masalah. Ini kita produce sendiri, kita guna rate yang disebabkan daripada tu. That's why kita suffer. Apa tak ada kat situ. Memanglah ikut segi ekonomi, import and export akan menyebabkan currency kita down and up. Okay? But if we focus our producing internally on local currency, tak ada siapa nak lawan kita pun. Contohlah saya sendiri, adakah saya punya currency? Contohlah kan. Saya ada komuniti saya. Okay, kita jaga currency kita sendiri. Produce sendiri, kita jual beli kat situ. Duit kita masih ada, tak perlu kita reprint pun. Tak perlu kita print duit baru. Tak perlu kita circulated duit dalam tu sendiri. Tak ada problem pun. So, bila investor masuk, bagi duit kat kita, baru kita print duit baru. Sebab investor tu datang daripada luar. Naiklah kita punya currency tu. Betul? Itu simple matematik lah bagi saya. Betul kan? Orang masuk, beli ringgit. Dia nak keluar, belilah dolar. Tapi bukan US dollar, ringgit dolar. Apa? Malaysia dollar macam tu. Tak apa, relax lah. Okay, dan pasal dolar-dolar ni. Okay, outsourcing versus using internal human resource. Kita nak guna orang luar ataupun orang dalam. Saya cover issue relating to the hiring external consultant and assigning internal employee with different type of task. This sebenarnya macam ni salah satu scientific way. Do we need to outsource using other people employee to complete our task? So, contoh menggunakan manpower, okay, manpower services from other company. Sementara masa untuk siapkan kerja kita. Dah siap, kau balik kat company kau. Macam tu. So do we need to use that in our company? Ini salah satu to balance. Okay, maybe when the company is failed to classify employee in this basis, there is a risk of double taxation on violation of law, related law. So the firm may risk paying fine in some of the cases and end up treating negatively publicly. They are the company yang using this. For example, if you are international or multinational company that come to the Malaysia, for example, you are the origin company from America. Suddenly you have a project and then you join. Okay, you open a temporary office in Malaysia. So by right, do you want to employ a company that have such kind of many things of demand? So it's better for us to have a company that having the agreement of working in that company. Okay, contohnya manpower company ke apa kan. So you take that a person to work with you temporarily and then you pay the salary to the manpower and then the manpower will pay the salary to the employee. Ini pernah saya kena dulu. Waktu saya bekerja dengan American company for Kertih project kat Terengganu. In Terengganu. So I'm working with the manpower company but I'm giving services to the subsidiaries company, not the subsidiary lah, the company that want my service through the manpower company because the project is not really permanently. So I'm working based on the project. So as a strategic term is good because I didn't bearing any cost. All the specialty benefit and everything to the manpower company, not to my company. This is how. The company should therefore determine the type of services that cannot be outsourced and one that can be handled within the company. Macam tu. Faham eh? Okay, this is the commercial certificate, employee input of preferences, business and output input industry. So you need to look on what is the preference of the employee yang kita mahu, business and operating input that you have, maybe what kind of facility that you must have, industry and labor market practice and trend. Then you will design. If you don't want to design anything of the basic pay, anything about the monetary and other monetary benefit, compensation or anything, you are using outsource system. Okay. Right. Now we go another one key area, which is the performance evaluation. There are cover and assessment of the employee performance in every financial year. In case where the employee do not understand their role in the company, the whole business unit organization may not achieve their goal. So therefore, the company should therefore develop the appraisal system that play various roles, such as providing support to the employee development. So on performance evaluation, if you're putting a company to make sure that you can anticipate all the three triangle resources, challenges, and also performance support. You must make sure that on evaluation, there must be a sense of what human development inside. Okay, you don't not only give a disciplinary action, there must be the sense of human development, employee development consultation and training, providing support to the employee development and training that is important on performance evaluation. Yeah, then best industry practice, it could be including ensuring that the employee training about the appraisal system, communicating, and then the manager should evaluate the performance goal into annual basic and paid development plan after each process. Mesti ada development. Okay, barulah you ada sense of key area of improvement. Okay, employment eligibility verification, evaluation mesti ada development plan. Key area dia mesti ada development plan. And then another one, employment eligibility verification. They cover a significant component in their hiring process. In this case, the company should make sure that each employee provides all the required information during hiring. Okay, if you do a strategic way, please get all the information correctly before you starting to hiring process. It should be reviewed by both internal and external authorities to ensure that employee is eligible to work in the company. HR,
Prof, can I
yeah.
ask one question about the performance evaluation, right?
Yes.
How do you balance biasness? Let's say a superior, assess their employee, right? And one guy would, be very stringent, and one guy would be very lenient, giving high marks and whatnot. So how do you balance that?
Okay, the first, you should have anything about look back on the employee handbooks and then the procedures. Okay, to make sure there is no bias. Because the evidence of employee handbook and procedures, the SOP, can anticipate or minimize the bias on action and disciplinary action, and also will minimize your bias on how you need to execute the issue or to overcome the issue. Itu saja you kena buat. Some of the company don't have any proper adalah small company kadang-kadang tak ada apa, tak ada employee handbook open. So it become a problem to you nanti. To minimize your bias, make sure you have the standard operating or procedure on how to handle the client or to employee, and also the handbook. Itu saja. Nak minimizekan bias. Boleh ya? Saya rasa saya menjawab soalan tu. Okay, right. On aligning, you have a balance. You have the key areas. Okay. You have the model and everything. 3 benda tu tadi. So how to align to become more strategic? Macam mana? The management aim to ensure the HR strategy is in line with the company long-term goal. Long-term, future aspiration of the company depend on ability of the human resource in stock. Maksud in stock. Inventory dia lah tadi. Must be supporting the long-term goal. If you want to company to become more international or expanding the company internationally, suddenly your employee does not what we can say as does not supporting the term of that maybe first a conversation in English not good ke tak boleh. Kalau your conversation itu lepas tu not computer literacy, tak pandai komputer, macam mana nak buat multinational company macam tu? International goal, you go for the company want to have a long-term goals on international market, which is all the employee must have a good in terms of communicating in English, conversation, do the planning, some strategic term, be more kritis, be more strategis. Tak ada dalam
Kena upskill lah masuk Prof.
kena upskill lah benda tu. So you must create a good in terms of the first step on personal development or development process of human tu tadi. Barulah you boleh good in stock. Okay. Therefore, HR department prepare its strategic plan. They needs to the managers to change, to chart, the understand the process and activity done in different business unit. Okay, what should you do to compile it in the stages? Okay, how to do it? Nak align ni banyak benda lah kat atas tadi dekat. Kita belum masuk lagi chapter 2 untuk masuk dalam ni. Assess of the current state of human resource. Assess tu maksudnya tengok balik inventory. Look back, audit back, current employee, include the ability, knowledge and experience. Selalu saya buat letakkan KSA. Saya ada satu konten dalam TikTok cerita pasal KSA. Saya tak upload je. Knowledge, skill and ability. Sangat penting. Knowledge, you tengok dia punya knowledge. Apa saja. Kadang-kadang knowledge ni is not include with their skill pun. Tak ada. Knowledge. And then look at the skill. Skill is formal education. Okay? Formal education. And then knowledge ni juga daripada training. Training dia buat, itu salah satu knowledge lah. Formal education usually degree, school, institution, pusat latihan, itu dipanggil formal. They can describe skill lah. And then the ability, anything that they have from the knowledge and skill that they expert on doing it, baru dipanggil ability. These two, you can tengok first. Then understand the business strategy. Tengok balik the strategy, look back. HR professional assess or company strategy, determine the rule, achieving and long-term plan. So, dekat sini, selalu kita tengok strategi kepada dia punya apa? see apa? KPI. Okay, look at the KPI. Okay, look at the mission, look at the vision. Tengok balik their strategy back. So, how to handle it? Okay, dalam performance management, saya dah bagi tahu. Siapa yang dah masuk kelas performance management, dia tahulah. They have a way on how to look at the KPI, how to look on the needs, developing the implementation HR strategy. So, tengok how to develop. Kita ada look back on chapter 1. Kita ada 3 area. Okay, area of strategies. Yang pertama sekali kena make a decision throughout all the function. Dan yang kedua, mesti ada sense of human development. Dan yang ketiga, mesti ada decentralization. That is the strategies part of HRM. Ada elemen tu. Kalau tak ada elemen tu, meaning that you didn't do the HR strategy at all. So, itu fix dalam otak, kena buat macam tu. HR department develop a policy that act as a driver of the toward a future. So, kalau nak future bagus, janganlah buat centralized decision making. Memang future tu pening lah sikit. Macam mana nak improve innovation? Kalau everything on centralizing, mesti ada decentralization, baru boleh lebih innovate. Then after that, you implement, and then you monitoring dan evaluate the system. So, dekat sini ada sense of feedback. Ada feedback, ada finding, ada research. There is a need of aligned component of HR function affect different area of organization. So, saya dah cakap tadi, there must be the sense of developmental plan. Okay. Apa dia? The component of strategy in developmental plan. So, yang ada. So, ada developmental plan, adalah strategic alignment dekat situ. Okay. The component that most basic in the HR that we can say we can align with the company, ini lagi the component of HR strategic alignment. Tadi activity, yang atas tu activity, okay, element of activity, non-element of strategic alignment. Yang pertama, if the company have a talent management punya unit, maksudnya dia dah buat SHRM. Ingat Lepas tu dia ada retention activity dengan succession planning dekat sini. Okay. Maksudnya they also do the strategic HRM. And then the last, they doing this compensation and benefit remuneration ataupun analysis, employee compensation and benefit analysis. You pun ada buat strategic alignment in strategic. Kalau training and development, employee safety and performance ni normal. Mana-mana pun ada. Very basic in human resource, traditionally dia ada training development, employee safety dengan performance. Ada semua. But there are less company doing the talent management, less. Okay. Doing the retention and engagement. Dia tak pentingkan engagement pun. Tapi in the strategic term, mesti pentingkan I help you, you help me. You help me, I help you. You baik dengan saya happy. You pun happy. Dia begitu. Engagement. Then employee compensation and benefit. Ini mesti ada lah. Setiap tahun jangan tak naik gaji. Okay, right. Okay, kalau macam tu, dah habis. GHRM measures and metric. In this, we need to know the human resource metrics and then HR dashboard. Then why human resource metric matters, the benefit of human metric, HR metrics in companies, and what is the key performance indicators. Okay, one of the measurement on the organization towards the employee performance. So how to write the development of key performance indicators and integrating key performance indicators to the management framework. So in this unit, so we need to identify the right method of ensuring performance. What is best suit of measurement on certain employee, not really on certain employee. What is the way on measuring the employee performance overall with the strategic performance of the company? Okay, we'll discuss the key benefit of communicating to measurement performance and the different type of HR measurement in most organizations in Malaysia. So the management of the company should find way on monitoring the way of every employee, the HR department, for mandate to develop the framework that guides the organization in carrying out the process. It includes different type of metrics depending on the nature of the business and the need to identify the functional units. So we can say that most common metrics on the organization, the whole organization, is key performance indicators ranging to the quality, quantity, effective, efficient, and effectiveness on the identified process. So in Malaysia, established a Ministry of Overseas Human Resource Development Process, Ministry of Human Resource under Human Metric, the department has specialized in the program, in turn implementing training centers and equip professionals with the design, knowledge, and skill. So we can say that the HR metrics also have a standard in Malaysia. So we can say the institution, we understand how business decision using the existing data in company appropriately by looking also on the recruitment selection process. So the human resource planning industry will try to have a better reward integration. So the company need to identify which measurement that they can use to overcome the difficulties on defining what way to evaluate the employees. The HR professional in Malaysia use different measurement in determining the effective of human resource strategy. Is very typical covered in case including human capital return on investment, turnover rate, productivity, and labor cost per employee. This is very common lah. We want to have a metric human capital return on investment, turnover rate, productivity, and labor cost, and cost per employees. It is more common. Okay, figure 4.1 portray 11 element key element of HR metric. Daripada sinilah kita nak tengok which element of measurement that we want to use to evaluate the employees. Okay, number one, some of the company they guna semua sekali. They using all of the key metric. Number one is absent rate. 2, absent per managers. Ini managers lah. And then overtime expenses, employee productivity index. Okay, this is all what we can say the measurement metric on the company. Okay, not only one employee, on the company. Training expenses per employee, training effectiveness index, training efficiency, employee happiness, voluntary turnover rate. Okay, voluntary ni apa? Apa? VSS. And then talent turnover rate, and then retention rate per this. Ini most key element metric, which is standard to most of the organization. So how from all of this 1, 2, 3 until 11, so the company need to look and need to put the evaluation appraisal system or some kind of periodic evaluating on certain department must be follow to this 11 key areas. Okay, 11 key areas. You see the absent rate, absent per managers, overtime expenses is indicating the performance of the employee and also the organization. So after you develop this kind of key metric, we're giving you the example of one of the system.
Doctor,
Yeah.
what the difference between number 9 and number 10? Theory and
This one
turnover.
BSS. VSS, we can indicate as is sort of the performance of the company, okay, the performance of the company. Voluntary turnover rate means giving you a view of the employee that handling the shortages of the resources, okay, dekat sini. You must putting this number 9 for voluntary turnover. There must be a linkage between it and also between 6 training effectiveness index and employee happiness. Why they are having a voluntary resignation? Okay, voluntary resignation. You know, what's the term of BSS? Apa maksudnya? Voluntary service
Separation scheme.
Separation scheme.
Separation scheme. Meaning you are voluntary want to go out. Okay, want to go out. Maybe your employee productivity, the absence rate may be high. The employee productivity index will be lower, maybe. And then all of this point, if you're looking at the bullet number 9, some of the point of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 may be indicating that the person should go to the 9. Okay, the metric. But if you're putting only 11 retention rate per managers, okay, they will see how the managers handling, maybe indicating the absent per managers, and also they will look also training expenses per employees, and then efficiency of the training itself, and how the talent turnover rate are coming in, okay, to look the effectiveness of the leadership in terms of retention rate of the managers. That's two. So these 1 to 11, okay, key indicators, key metric will be not communicating, will be apa dipanggil? Supporting each other in terms of giving you a good evaluation system or metric to the performance of the company, overall performance of the company.
Doktor, macam saya dulu bankers, ex-banker lah. Kalau macam normally kalau bank dia merger ataupun dia take over, they will actually offer for the staff VSS lah, the voluntary separation scheme. But they actually pay us according to, you know, the other factor plus your, you know, how many years you have been service and your last pay, your last drawn paid lah, something like that, Doctor. Is it the same that like this one, voluntary turnover rate? Adakah sama? Macam saya ingat macam lain kalau VSS tu. Kalau macam bila saya tengok 11 key HR metric ni, dia cakap voluntary turnover rate ni macam kalau orang tu tak satisfied, dia volunteer nak resign.
Yes. Some of the employees, dia gunakan BSS, employer gunakan BSS to actually direct the staff to resign. Same with this.
Employee ke employer?
Employee.
Employee.
Some employer are asking for the person if they having trouble in the organization, maybe the absence rate very high, and then always take overtime, and then they maybe the training effectiveness index maybe not good, go for training banyak kali tapi tak berubah juga. So they're asking for them to voluntarily resign. So if they're putting like that, walaupun BSS still is same with voluntary turnover rate, same, masuk dalam tu juga.
Jadi Prof, yang nombor 10 tu maksudnya bukan voluntary ke? I mean, is it something like constructive dismissal or something ke?
Ini, nombor 10.
Betul.
Okay. Talent turnover ni, dia macam ni. Ni bukan dia, dia cari orang luar, talent thing. Talent turnover rate ni, macam mana dia positionkan staff di dalam kita. Dia naikkan pangkat, ada tak banyak turnover dari segi pangkat. Perubahan pangkat itu, khususnya talent turnover, berubah-ubah. Okay. Jangan samakan dengan voluntary ni. Okay. Talent turnover ni dia tak adalah ambil orang luar. Selalu talent macam ni. Talent mesti di dalam. Okay. Dia improving di dalam. Inside of the organization. Okay. The more talent turnover, which is good or bad. Lagi ramai orang dalam
Good.
organisasi.
It's very good.
It's good lah.
Good. You got a diverse
And then,
of talent.
and then
Talent pool.
it relate also with the retention rate of the managers. If there are more retention rate within the one of the managers, within the managers is effective lah, because they retain their good employee to be more talented. I mean, high rated turnover rate, talent turnover rate, and then retention rate per manager is high, which is, it indicates a good supervision, a good leadership. Macam tu.
Kira, Prof, boleh kira macam internal staff movement macam tu.
Yeah, internal staff movement. Ni tiga ni kena rapat. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 11 ni kena rapat. Tiga-tiga ni.
Doctor, so means number 9 for number 9 voluntary, the lower the better. Then
Lower the better.
the number 10 and 11 is the higher the
Higher
better.
the better.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay. Good.
And
So
then,
you faham.
Doctor, for our assignment, I remember got also HR metrics. Means we must use these 11 key metrics to do our assignment, or we can use out of that also. Thank you.
Out of that, if you have a good reference, you can use also. Never mind. I accept.
Okay, noted.
Sorry, Prof, my line not so good. Can we go over what you mean by number 9 higher better?
Okay. Number 9 must be lower. If you have number 9, which is voluntary turnover rate, which is higher, meaning your leadership and your policy, certain maybe your what we call it, standard of procedure maybe not good. Maybe it meaning on that you don't have a good solid human resource department, because voluntary turnover rate is higher. Number 9 should be lower, 10 and 11 should be higher, right?
Doktor, turnover tu meaning pertukaran kan? Ke dalam bahasa?
Pertukaran?
Ke orang keluar dari company lah. Organization.
Yalah, orang keluar daripada organisation. Talent turnover ni jangan masuk talent turnover. Talent, actually talent is meaning of inside. Inside. You develop the talent inside. Okay? Voluntary ni dia keluar lah. Okay. Kalau talent turnover rate should be inside, perubahan talent. Orang yang bawa develop jadi atas. So higher turnover rate, talent turnover should be good. More talented person could be possible promoted. Faham tak? So it relate to retention rate per managers. So it relate the more managers can retain the good employee, meaning the talent turnover rate also higher. Macam tu. So kalau 11 and 10 higher, so number 9 should be lower. Kan? Tak adalah orang nak BSS, betul. But if 11 is lower, 10 is lower, 9 should be higher. Confirm. Okay.
Prof, sorry, number 9 bukan, it's not entirely BSS as well kan? It's just voluntary exiting, so resigning.
Betul.
It's part of it, right?
It's part of it.
Okay.
Boleh? Okay. Kita tengok dekat sini. Training, efficiency dengan employee happiness. Okay. These two also will be communicated. Okay. Employee happiness higher, training efficiency will be higher also. Okay. 5 and 6. Training expenses per employee and the training effectiveness index. If training expenses per employee is higher, your training effectiveness index will be what? Lower or high? Kalau training mahal, satu employee, training effectiveness could be lower lah. So you must have the rate of train the employee lower, baru effectiveness of the index will be higher. you must get a the lower cost of developing the employees. Baru good dalam metric tu tadi. Okay. Overtime expenses rate is lower, employee productivity is higher. Okay. Absent rate is high, so absent per managers will be high also. Okay. This one high, this one high, this one low, this one high. Dia terbalik. Okay. Number two, relation is positive. Okay. 3 and 4, relation is negative. 5 and 6, relation is negative. 7 and 8, relation is positive. 9 towards 11, 10 and 10 is negative. 10, 11 positive. 9, 10, 9, 11 is negative. So that is the relationship. Boleh ya? Saya dah concludekan semua. Right, good. Okay. Come up for this, the example that turn up to be in the system macam ni lah. Human resource dashboard. Ini most common lah. Many organization, HR dashboard. Different company have different HR dashboard. Ini one of the system. Human resource department in Malaysia have introduced different set of report, display chart, form, organization represent relevant stakeholder. Ikut sendiri, ikut company masing-masing. In display the business performance system where the user visual display. Okay, this is an example lah. Anyone using this? Udemy. This one is udemy.com. Dia macam ni. Ada siapa guna Udemy?
Belum lagi, Prof.
Udemy Udemy ni dia Mat Salim lah.
Tapi dia macam Udemy ni macam Coursera Prof.
Lebih kurang.
Dia macam educationnya platform. Course.
Okay, sekarang kita tengok step of creating human HR metric. Macam mana you nak gunakan benda ni semua. Sekarang dia dah terrelate kan. Dekat sini pun you dah boleh buat thesis dah. Using this HR metric, you dah boleh cari tajuk dalam thesis you. Nak buat thesis, nak buat research, dah boleh cari tajuk. How overtime expenses relate to the employee productivity index. Factors that macam tu, you buatlah apa tajuk on your research. Step on creating human resource metric. Macam mana nak buat? Okay, macam mana nak dapatkan satu yang bagus menggunakan 11 element you have. Okay, how to do it. Okay. Aim of making a metric effective organization, this level management should what? Follow the step of this. Okay, pertama, your proposition. What is your proposition? Okay, proposition tu apa yang you nak orang nampak. You want to deliver. What you want the company to be. Okay, you want the company to be more likely environmental, more in technologies. So your business process should be what? If you more on valuing people, you're more on what? Focusing in where? Valuing people. Training lah. 7 and 8. Look at 7 and 8. If you more on technology, maybe your proposition should be more on this. 3, 4, 5 and 6. Tak kisahlah dia punya absent teruk, tapi dia punya overtime tu tak ada. Dia tak ada buat overtime, selalu absent. Tapi productivity dia very high. Nampak tak dekat situ? Okay. And then baru you look at business process. Business process ada apa? Tak ada input, process, output. Okay. Business process dalam input ada function. Okay. Ada function, ada 4, ada department. Okay. Dalam proses dia ada dipanggil sebagai apa? Rantaian. Okay. Rantaian for how to handle your product and everything. And then the output go to the logistic part. Okay. And then the desired behavior. And then capability, motivating, opportunity, and sekali kita buat satu lah. Okay. Value position. Okay, the process of identifying the company competitive goal. Nak bersaing lah. Provide good and services. Example, understanding the measurement, retention, acquisition, satisfaction, market shares. Okay, you tengok. You boleh position if you want to become what? More technologies company. So, if technologies, you kena buat apa? Kena good in retention, a good talent. Retention, a good talent. Okay, make sure they're satisfied. If you're focusing more on innovation, maybe you kena ambil staff baru, acquisition, and retain the good talented people. Itu customer is the case, find the more element about the firm they can business process. In this level, the management identify the core business process and enable the firm to excellent to be competitive. So some of the company business process dia competitive to more on services. Contoh, company mana yang good in services, for example, the automotive, mana good in services, kereta. Dia tak bagus buat kereta, tapi dia bagus services. Contoh, ada.
Macam bermas auto tu dia tak buat kereta, dia hanya provide service.
Yeah, very good juga. Itu contoh yang baik. Okay. Tapi ada dua-dua tak bagus dia pening. Okay. For me, yang develop kereta bagus, itulah European, tapi service dia very bad. Okay, so their value proposition on this Mercedes, on this BMW and this Audi, they just what? They develop a good car, but services memang dia teruk lah, confirm. So, in terms of competitive, the business unit can also cover to deliver value in target market. They can also meet shareholders. So, kalau dia nak hanya menjual, dia more focusing on what? To get a new market shares lah. Carilah talented people yang go good in sales. They are not more focusing on the people who do the product. The desired behavior, the manner of which employee conduct business transaction can determine the long-term performance of the firm. Managers what? To indicate using the new desired behavior in the firm. So desired behavior ni relate to what? Relate to the competitive market and also relate to the value proposition tadi. Good and services yang dia nak keluarkan. Okay. This number 3 mesti link with number 1 and number 2. Towards what? Towards you want to design this metric method. Okay. Kalau if you want to have a good talented people towards you want to do global business. So if you want to do having a good global business, you must have good talent turnover rate and retention rate. Kena tinggi ya. So voluntary ni kena lower. If you want to become lower in voluntary, resignation should be in training efficiency and employee happiness should be higher, lower, higher. Nampak 7 high, 7 positive, 8 positive, 9 negative, 10 positive, 11 positive. So all these 3 metrics is good to retain people. So buatlah policy group. Create the good policy and procedure. How to make sure they're happy. What is the training indication? Macam tu. Okay, the bold color, which is 3, 4, 7, 8 is important. Okay, because these 3, 4, 7 and 8 will indicating an effect 1, 2, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11. So you can be aware about overtime expenses. You can be aware the employee productivity index. Okay, 5 and 16 for me, special je And also you tengok juga 7, 8 penting sampai, right? Okay, capabilities, motivation and opportunity. Motivation and opportunity. The 3 major component of organization includes people, procedure, and system in management. Can use customer feedback, internal business process. So, when you looking on having a good desirable behavior, the company should also look the motivation and opportunity on how they can make sure the people, procedure, and system can communicate. Okay, boleh gain some what we can say as the challenging facing organization. They boleh overcome lah when you have a good people, good procedure, and how they can execute that. Usually, the company will get a customer feedback, internal process of the assessment, which is good also. Okay, HRM proses. Apa proses HRM? Apa tu? HRM proses. Daripada awal lah, planning of the job itself, and then starting the recruiting, selection, interviewing, apa tu? Jadi proses itulah daripada first planning of job, and then you start recruit, you start select, interview, and then you hiring, and then you training, and then you evaluate, and then you giving feedback. Itu adalah proses of the HR process. So, on HR department ensure that the metric work according to the initial goal. Initial goal kita tadi apa? Long-term goals. Okay. Kita must create the link between departments so the performance of each employee will be good, and HR manager also investigate the relevant indicators on the metric, also guide to the department. So HR process ni many, there are so many HR process, but on each of the process you should looking. For example, for the start, the beginning of the forming the job itself, you buat JD, everything. You must look at the what? At the does the procedure that I have, does the policy that I have can overcome the problem of the job. Ada tak indicating on how the training should be, what kind of the rate of the hour of the overtime, so kena inform, kena letak kat situ. Ini apa lagi ni? Okay. Why human resource metric matters? Kenapa? Asal baju saya hitam pula ni. Why these metrics matters? Kenapa? Why the 11 element of key metrics too important? Okay, why? Number one, they are requires analysis in order to avoid problem arising. It matters because it prevents the problem arising towards the human resource. Pertama, finance. Company have professional working in different function unit. You will usually make the financial report and measure the business performance. In the end, they end up ignoring the value of human resource. Then politics. If you don't have a good metric, if you don't have a good how to handle, how to look at the performance, how to look on the 11 element itself, so not easy for you to handle this. You don't have a good policy, that the model cannot handle. Investment-centered managers are always concerned about wealth creation on capital investment. Individual does not perceive a people-centered investment and value for company success. Hierarchy, social, and strategies. Managers in level are only focused on developing a result-oriented approach. They end up the individual preparatory for actual implementation within the business unit. So all of these are the methods to prevent problem arising. Okay, kenapa kita should have? Yang paling saya takut adalah yang ini. Okay, this is you don't have a good. Macam mana nak handle politics on the policy, on the key factors yang tadi ni? How to handle politics? Saya nak tanya you all. How to handle politics? Which one should be the indicators? Come on. How to handle politics? Which one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Maybe number 8.
I think it will be
Number 8. Number 9.
Number 9?
Number 8.
8.
8, 9.
8. 8 and 9.
8 and 9, is it? But 10, 11 is politics, is it right?
Yeah.
So how you handle it? How?
Or we check on the employee productivity as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I think the
Okay.
KPI.
Number 4.
We do it step by step. Okay. Don't just go to 9, 10, 11. No. Okay. Go to number 1 first. To overcome the politic, go to number 1. Look at the absent rate of the individual, maybe. Okay. Look at the absent rate. Okay. Look, for example, politic of department. Okay. So look at the department. Absent rate in your department is what? Dia tanya. Kita check. HR need to check absent rate on that department because the company said, oh, this department is performing well. Politics, is it right? No evidence. So look, HR need to be not too biased. Okay. Look at the department first, the absent rate. Surely, if the absent rate is higher, the manager is loser lah. Okay. No evidence. Absent rate is high. So the absent rate per manager should be higher lah. So why the boss said this company, this department is good? No indication what? So the HR should be no bias lah. Put the report. The absent rate for the department is this, and then the absent per managers is what? Katakan ada 2 managers, dari 2 unit. Kita tengok. Rupanya only this manager perform in this department. Not all of the department performing. So what should the manager say? Who need to be promoted? Only that guy lah, betul. And then look back on the overtime rate. Overtime rate dia macam mana? Okay, does the department higher in overtime? Higher in overtime, lower lah in productivity. Is it? So all of this you kena buat satu-satu. 1 to 11 for that department you should do. Okay. So meaning element key HR metric ini is not for individual, is for organization or is for function or department. Ingat tu, boleh? Strategic mean the whole department, not individual itself. Boleh ya? That is the meaning of HR metric. So if you do it well, you protect yourself to make sure that this department doesn't deserve any remuneration or increasing of salary. Okay. Susah ya kerja HR. Kalau you tak ada elemen ni, macam mana nak buat? Macam mana? Boleh? Tak boleh. Susah. Dah tahu benda ni buat. Buat elok-elok. Do it well.
Prof nak tanya. Prof nak tanya. Ada some of the company they have done evaluation for the overall performance, means like inter-department internally. So each department evaluate the other department. So is this also one of the strategy that can be put in the, on the analysis of the HR strategy?
Yes. HR strategic, they will do it. Every single department have their own performance. But you need to check how they do the evaluation. How they do the evaluation? Does they have the what we call it, the metric, or just main cakap-cakap macam tu dia? Tak boleh. Cannot do that. The metric that they use must be putting in the employee handbook. If you didn't put the employee handbook, you didn't have a good model. So if you don't have a good model, how to handle? Go back to unit 3. How to handle, how to implement, how to execute. Tak boleh. So if they do just simply evaluation without announcing, without properly the board of directors agree, so I don't think so that they're doing the strategically a good way lah. Right. Susah dia kerja HR ni bukan senang. Okay, so politics settle. You do 1 to 11, you know already. And it's a full stop to the department. It's a full stop also to your CEO who always bias. Okay, who always bias. Some CEO selalu bias. Kadang-kadang lah bias dengan department ni. Tengok jalan tak. Yes.
bukan ke senario kat Malaysia ni macam lebih kepada HR tu lebih keen towards employer instead of employee, and then the performance evaluation tu from to bottom and not the way around or vice or both, kan?
I agree with that comment. Okay. Most of organization in Malaysia, in culturally, they akan go to the bottom first and then go to the up level. Betul? Jarang sekali upper level to the low bottom, kan? Tapi in the matrix, dia buat semua sekali, kan? Atas dan bawah. Nampak tak? Per manager, apa semua kan, kat atas dan bawah. Nampak dekat situ? So, how you handle this? How you handle this? For sure, you kena letak everything that you do for HR in the properly managed to the employee handbook. Buat. How to, not to attack lah, to make it firm of the policy. Put everything or measurement metrics on the performance overall, put dekat employee handbooks tu tadi. Atau HR policy in general. If you didn't put, you tak boleh buat apa. Kena do anything. Okay, most of the company, they have problem of this because of they don't have peer evaluation. Banyak. Your candidate, your friend tak boleh evaluate you. That's why it's come trouble up to the system, the whole. Okay, in overseas, peers boleh evaluate you. I'm working with American company. My friends evaluating me. In Malaysia, we don't have peers. Peers evaluation. Dia semua colleagues. It's not colleagues lah. Superior or immediate superior evaluation. Betul? Okay. Tak ada peer. So, bila tak ada peer, you kena ada what we call having a metric of per managers lah. Per managers. Itu pun dah cukup baik. Okay? Untuk membantai semula managers yang tak baik. Tak good. Not baik. Tak perform. Okay? Dia bukan tak baik, tak perform. Tu masalah ni kan. Right. So, okay. To avoid approach that can be practiced to avoid challenging all of this. Challenging all of this. Apa nak buat? Okay. So, fact-based decision making. Kan saya dah cakap tadi, fact-based decision making. Gunakan element of metric tadi, do the fact. Collect data. Respond to the human resource can help the management in terms of formulating strategy that can adopt employee without resistance. Okay, collect data. Okay. Aligning reward with important outcome. So guna apa? Aligning reward. Guna apa? Gunalah sini tadi. Okay. Retention rate per managers. Bagilah manager yang bagus. Lepas tu, talent turnover. Siapa yang naik pangkat, siapa yang dah dapat achieving certain kind of what we call it as position, you give a reward. Okay, indication employee productivity index, less overtime but higher performance. So bagilah certain. So elemen ni sangat.
Sorry doktor, ada satu question. Saya minta maaf, saya Osman ya. Relating back to the matrix, the 11 matrix, talent turnover, nombor 10 tu. Macam you cakap lah, I think based on this 11 pun kita dah boleh buat thesis and lots of debates can go around.
Yeah.
Number 10 tu, is in your opinion, what is the your own personal take in terms of talent turnover when you say about promotion, inter-department changes? Is it because of dia recognized as talented or sebab dia dah lama kerja kat situ? You know, certain people executive, 5 tahun executive lagi, 10 tahun executive lagi.
Okay.
You know, is it due to the time atau sebab dia talent?
Okay. Seniority doesn't indicating talent, no. But it's more on ability. Okay. All of us, seniority ada knowledge and skill. Is it possible? Betul. All of us, if we are working longer services in the organization, we all have a good knowledge, which is absolutely good knowledge. And then definitely there are maybe further their study, get some kind of certificate which is more professional certificate lah, atau apa certificate lah kan. So these two things is the minimum requirement to be talented. Then after that, it will be what? Tested. After they've tested in terms of maybe the organization have kind of testing ke apa ke, fieldwork ke apa ke, and then suddenly they're able to do, meaning your ability, your knowledge and skill you can overcome certain requirement, certain limit of the job of the company that prove your ability, come to be talented person. So dalam bahasa human resource, ability itu yang menggambarkan. The ability of doing or execute your knowledge and skill to improve the company long-term goal tu tadi. Faham kan? Contoh ya, example lah, I'm the one who doing the marketing. But before this, I'm not good in English. My conversation is bad. My closing is bad when it goes to English communication. Then after that, I improve. I go to this and this and this, I get proper everything. Then I perform. I have an assignment from the company that I need to deal with this kind of project in Europe, for example. Then I fulfill. Then after I fulfill, so meaning that I talented to be. I'm able to get promoted. This is the indication of talent and overrate. Boleh? Boleh. I hope you understand on that. Boleh kot? Okay. Alright. Alright.
Tapi saya nak tanya sikit boleh? Regarding the 11 metrics, right? Sebab kalau company yang normally ada union, I think most of it is opposite of this 11 matrix. How HR normally handle this? Compensate ke, turnover ke, overtime ke, union mesti dia akan is opposite lah. Kalau you mention just now, higher
But
overtime will cost something.
So it depends on industrial relation policy yang digunakan. Because kan tadi dah bagi tahu kita kena follow the employment law juga dekat situ. Okay? Indicating our policy. Kita kena follow. Ada dia punya tadi kan untuk unit 3 tadi. So, kita kena tengok juga. Okay, in term of union yang strong.
Misalnya union kuat-kuat, yes.
Union yang strong, they have the collective bargaining. Dia ada satu bargain yang collectively from the ahli, right? But definitely the employee have the what you call it, the eligibility to confront with that, sama dia nak terima atau tidak. Okay, definitely dia ada juga dia punya way on how to develop their metric to make sure they are also menjaga kemaslahan diri juga dekat situ. So kena in other way around lah. Okay. Kita sambung. Kita tak habis ni nanti. Dah pukul 11. Okay. Management of career development. Manage the career development. Nurturing employee career through training and development and internal sourcing of employees. Menggunakan kaedah internal sourcing of employees. Lalu kalau ini management career development ni kita buat apa? Succession planning. Kalau internal sourcing of employment, if you want to have a good strategic management, low cost, because kita kena lowkan cost untuk training. Baru strategically good. So kita menggunakan apa? Menggunakan apa? Not on the job training, selalunya succession planning ataupun apa? In apa dia panggil? Internal training.
Internal training.
In-house training.
In-house.
In-house of
Okay, in-house training tu sebenarnya guys adalah strategic human resource activity. Strategically kurangkan cost, gunakan expertise di dalam untuk mengajar semua. Itu bukan simple-simple punya teknik tu. Itu memang dalam management of career development. Maksudnya, siapa yang buat benda ni dulu mula-mula, saya pun tak tahu. Siapa yang buat. Okay.
Sorry Jo, Prof. Sama ke dengan yang on job training tu?
Lain.
Internal training tu?
On the job training itu bukan, is compulsory training. On the job training itu compulsory. Dia bukan strategi tak.
Oh, okay.
Bukan. Jadi dia panggil, apa dia panggil lah? I forgot apa terms tu dalam.
Program, right, Prof?
Hmm?
It's a program, right?
Yeah, is one of the induction program for the person who are coming to the company. They must finish up the on the job training. Itu bukan satu strategic way. Dia memang ada dalam sistem on the HR. Traditionally HR pun dah ada on the job training. Bukan. Okay?
Macam onboarding training ke dok?
Yes, betul. Saya setuju. Okay, now we go
Macam
understanding.
talent pool tu sama.
Macam mana? Apa tu?
Talent pool. Some company they have identify a talent pool.
Betul, bro. Talent pool. Dia akan specifically identify lah mana potential future leaders lah in their inventories.
I agree lah. Management of career development. Betul. Boleh. Talent pool pun boleh. Saya setuju. As long as term is same. Okay. Understanding competitive trend. So, to overcome masalah yang macam-macam ni tadi, financially, so you need to understand the competitive trend, recognizing the value of human resource. Macam saya tadi lah, talent pool. Kat sini, okay. The achievement of long-term goal, they can adopt the different view of implement of business strategies. Some of the business strategies, they are not good in technology, is it? How? Macam ni nak adopt? To be competitive. How? Macam ni nak adopt? Digunakan AI. Digunakan sistem yang minimize their cost in terms of handling human resource. Okay. Introduce benchmarking program. Ada di organisation benchmarking program? Contoh yang paling popular apa dia? Benchmarking program. Management visit the company, industry and learn about the best practice of managing resource for optimal productivity. They can learn about significant HR metric and recognize HR and component. Surely yang paling popular is key performance indicators.
KPI.
Itulah dia benchmarking program. So KPI semua orang cakap. Tapi sebenarnya KPI itu strategic human resource. Okay, bila KPI mula di Malaysia, khususnya di government, tahun bila? Sebelum tu tak ada. Bila? Kalau you all ingat, zaman bila? Zaman Perdana Menteri siapa?
Abdullah Badawi.
Abdullah Badawi betul. End of Abdullah Ahmad Badawi and then continue by Najib Tun Razak. And then after Najib Tun Razak masuk, dia mulakan Blue Ocean Strategy, betul? Strategi Laut Biru, betul?
Betul, and boss.
Blue Ocean Strategy itu adalah to move our comfort zone using the KPI to be above comfort zone. Itu Blue Ocean punya strategi tadi. Boleh? Blue Ocean kan kita tak nampak. Is beyond. Kita nampak hanya blue ocean, tapi dekat dalam ocean kita tak nampak. So we just predict.
And post project.
Before we go to the deep sea, we predict. Kalau kita pergi sana, mesti perkara ini akan berlaku. Tapi kita belum masuk ke dalam. Itulah dia.
Ada satu lagi, NKRA, bro. The National Key Result Area. For the KPI tu. Every ministry ada NKRA to achieve.
National Key
Result Area.
NKRA dibuat sebelum ni, masa zaman Mahathir saya. NKRA. Masa zaman Mahdi, NKRA, tak silap saya lah. Masa tu dia punya Menteri Luar, siapa? I forgot the name. Benefit of HR metric in company. Yang paling best adalah enhancing, create. Ini yang paling saya suka lah. Saya suka di bawah tu. Assessing people, employee performance, engagement and satisfaction. Senang kita nak assess dia punya employee performance, engagement and satisfaction. Melalui nombor berapa? 4 dan 5. 7 dan 8. 7 dan 8. Lepas tu, the guideline for HR manager to develop policy and strategies. Okay. From that, you kena improve the procedure, improve the employee handbook. Then enhance efficiency on HR, and then create effective HR function. Okay. Sebab efficiency of HR function dilihat daripada ini, cost that can use of hiring and monitoring must be lower cost. Effectiveness, efficiency mesti pasal cost. Effectiveness, apa? Efficiency memang pasal cost. Effectiveness pasal implementation and execution. Desired information, solving the problem. The company can measure effectiveness training and manage decision basing on the measure to the ensure that is the increasing of the productivity. Itu Okay. Key performance indicators. Key performance indicators. Semua orang tahu key performance indicators. Siap ada dekat sini lah dia punya critical success factors, factor area of key performance indicators. All of you, I think, on the department, on the government department, they have a training on KPI. I go during I'm working as penolong timbalan pengarah of the department, I go for KPI training. I think all the department servant high level, which is 41 grade, semua kena pergi. Okay, on KPI training, it handled by kita punya Intan lah. Intan ada khusus KPI ni. Okay. What is the critical factors of the KPI? Okay, for sure kita tahu mission and vision and strategy, objective or informative from the company. And then what they are focusing. Each of the function, they have their own function of finance, customer service, all of these they're looking on the function of each department. Okay, each department have their operational critical factors. Each department have their own category of KPI. Okay, and after they know the KPI indication, key result indication, maximum 10 are coming out, and then indication of performance 10 or many. Then after that, they from the result, key result indicators and key performance indicators from I think more than 100 and then they putting the key performance indicators maximum as concluded from the above. Okay. Normal key performance indicator they have only kat sini function there, financial, consumer, innovation, internal process, staff satisfaction and community and enrollment. Ini saja. Okay, kalau ada lebih tu, I pun tak faham kenapa dia banyak sangat. Okay, usually key performance indicators tak boleh lebih daripada 10. If you have more than 10, it's not effective at all. It must be lower than 10. The key performance indicators. Okay, most of the key performance indicators in government mesti financial result. Menamatkan, finish all the budget on time, macam tu. And then consumer handling, consumer being service, okay, staff being developed, staff being finished their training, community, extra service tu, macam tu. Boleh.
Doctor, isn't it better to be having more KPI? Like HRMatic pun ada 11. KPI why must be less than 10? More less than
Apa yang saya baca lah, okay. The KPI should be focused. Only the category of implementation can be more. Begitu. What I have read lah, why the KPI should be less than 10. Okay. For example, KPI 10, contoh KPI yang pertama is about the budgeting, right? About the budgeting. The financial result. On the budgeting, there ada functioning punya area, there ada procedure punya area. On the implementation, you can have so many, but the main KPI should be one in that. Boleh ya?
Doctor, nowadays I also heard many company that they don't use KPI anymore already. They use OKR, right?
OKR is what?
Objective and key result. It's just like Google. They also abolish the KPI already. Quite numbers of MNC.
The KPI is like this.
Because
the
they mentioned that KPI is more to measure the past performance, but while the company should be looking forward instead of keep on going digging back the what's going on, and it somehow make the staff feel ashamed or what something like that.
For me, the OCR or what is still it doesn't mean the KPI is not good. No, the OCR is more on objective oriented. Objective is more on looking on this also. It's same, but the company who operating or who implementing is important. Does they understand what is the function of KPI itself? It's come from these two, is it right? Strategy and also your mission. If they didn't align, should be they're having trouble inputting your KPI. So I don't think so that KPI is not relevant anymore. I don't think so because there are so many.
Ada a few company yang ada mid review, right? Third quarter review in order to make sure that the KPI is aligned.
Yes.
I agree with you. KPI is still relevant.
The KPI, what I'm doing before the KPI, yeah, I'm looking at the past, but from the past, I will have a certain of extension on what I am doing. Okay, any sense of development on what I'm doing, barulah kita panggil KPI is improving ataupun what we can say as align with the new objective. Kadang-kadang kalau government ni kadang-kadang pun dia tak alert as long as we follow as what before is follow with what our mission is okay dah. Macam tu. Government lain mungkin, swasta lain. Okay, right. Okay, features of KPI. Okay, there are form of communication. Okay, KPI, there are form of siapa yang who is responsible, who is the person in charge in section. Okay. Should fit with the company needs. Yes. Okay, this is the key performance indicators punya definition. Values for ensure the KPI, business contact, KPI should be procedure, produce the design outcome, and performance measurement. Okay, aspect of KPI ni dia. It circle around. It's up to the organization when they want, which part they want to start first. The value of the result, okay, the process of the measuring process, level of influence, parties, significant assign, the rate of receipt, and the firm desired result. Okay, really the value of the result. Penting ke tidak, important ke tidak. Selalunya the value of the result, apa dia? Kita letak. Selalu kalau KPI letak apa? Value of the result.
You
Important.
put the percentage.
Put the percentage. Use normal, we put on percentage.
Weightage.
Weightage. Yes, good. Thank you. Okay.
Numbers.
Numbers. Okay. And then the process of the measurement. Guna apa? Selalu kita letak apa?
This one we put the milestone, berapa completion.
Apa dia? Milestone. We put what? Process of measurement.
The range.
Range. Yes, thank you. Range. Kita boleh letak range. Period. Okay, usually period. Then after that, level of influence of the outcome. Kita letak apa? How we use? After we have a range, and then we put the level of influence of the outcome. Kita buat apa?
Target.
Percentage. Yes, good. Percentage also. And then party responsible of the outcome. We put the person in charge, who is involved, siapa dia punya recipient and everything. Significant sign to show the achievement of the outcome. So some people they putting icon lah, achieve or not achieve, percentage, some kind of color. They're putting in color. Okay, KPI. Okay, right. Ada yang letak Gantt chart, okay, flow chart, everything here lah. So you can they show the achievement, Gantt chart, flow chart and everything. The rate of reviewing the progress. Okay, ada tadi you buat apa? Every year you have a meeting of KPI, is that right? So the rate of reviewing does if you didn't achieve the KPI, you review back which process should be the problem. What is the process? What is the challenging part? That's two. Okay, on reviewing, they are stated kat situ. Feedback lah, usually the feedback.
Improvement needed.
Improvement needed. There are the remark on that. The last part, the firm desired result. Last, achieve or not achieve. If not achieve, there are the remark why. So which meaning that the KPI is good, still good for you, for me, or what. Okay, as long as you must use the smart technique of putting the KPI. It must be what? S apa? It must be what? SMART. Specific, measurable,
reliable.
Yes, you tahu, guna je tu. Buat KPI, mesti guna smart punya teknik on developing the item ataupun content element. Right? You pun tahu lah, tak nak cerita banyak kali. Okay. Program. Alamak, lagi 9 minit. Okay, siap. Okay, how to write and develop a KPI. Okay, clear aim of KPI, sharing KPI with relevant stakeholders. You discuss with your team members. Frequent review of KPI, review back all the KPI, maybe last 5 years, 3 years, check back. Okay, then ensuring the KPI is actionable. Okay, actionable, refine to fit the business context. Look at the mission and strategies, and then assessing the KPI to ensure they are attainable, and updating the KPI objective is necessary. Itu saja. Step. Integrating the KPI in management framework. Okay. Framework of business. Dia ada berapa, guys? Framework of business. Kalau you all tahu lah. Framework of business. Framework of business ni maksudnya dia ada dia punya internal, external, okay. Internal and external factors that will affect the company. Okay, in middle is the strategy. Is the strategy, and upper level here is the decision maker. Okay, down here is the instrument supporting employees. So ada 4 elemen dalam framework. The first, the decision maker, strategies, and the instrument, asset, employee, and left and right is the environmental factors that influence the company, and the internal factors that influence the company. So they are surrounding with what we can say as the what. So all of that, okay, kita kena check back on unit 3, the activity, okay, resources, the performance support, and also the yang tadi tu challenging part. Kita tengok daripada instrument yang dia ada tadi on the framework of the organisation. The main goal of the management this level of development performance framework whose the purpose is to set the objective, employee performance, and managing the related process is this. Align with the business strategy. Okay, dalam business strategy dia kena ada 3, ingat 3 kalau strategi yang pertama mesti buat apa, all decision making must be including all the function of the department collective. Okay, yang kedua mesti ada sense of human development, yang ketiga mesti decentralization. Tu mesti ada 3 tadi. And then including the primary areas in the business, and then using the balance framework, and then using the KPI dashboard in the monitoring process. Type of metric use, ada banyak. Type of company across the global. Common type of company metric. Okay, time to hire, employee turnover, cost per hire, employee absenteeism, and cost human resource per individual employee. This is most common type, bukan strategi type on how they use. Okay. For example, time to hire. Okay. The management can develop the metric to determine the time to be taken when hiring more employee on the company. Waktu bila when the company start to employ. They will know when they start to employ. Okay, you can see the punya current rate of turnover, absenteeism. You know lah, when the absenteeism coming, selalunya waktu apa? When absenteeism datang, selalunya
bila dia nak resign.
Bila dia nak resign, dia ada indication on that. Okay. Kat Malaysia, most common lah kalau kita tengok years. Okay. Paling banyak turnover dia starting, tak silap saya, bulan most common lah March.
March.
After bonus.
After bonus announcement.
After bonus announcement. Ni pattern yang I belajar dulu lah when I becoming the higher level top management. March they started to have a trouble. The company most having a trouble in HR. Oh my God. March. Usually this March is some kind of not hassle lah, challenging months for the human resource. Usually. Yeah? It's time to hire. And then employee turnover. It implies to the rate of employee leave the organization a given period. So high rate, you boleh tahu je lah, turnover rate, cost per hire. This is indicators on the looking when you want to start to use the metric. Okay, indicate. Boleh? And then billable hour of every employee, revenue per employee, employee engagement and diversity. Okay, boleh tengok. Gunakan all the metrics, 11 metrics tu. When it happen, berlaku employee turnover. Okay, where you need to use. You start to use employee turnover to imply the rate of employee leave the organization at a given period. So if there are so many voluntaries, you need to look back why it happened. Why always that department having a higher turnover? You need to check. You need to check cost per hire and everything. Okay, oh done. Finish already. Nampak tending ke? Sekejap.
Prof, I have a question, yeah. If let's say we were to comment about the implication of HR metrics to the HR strategy, can we discuss about the benefit of it?
I more likely about the benefit because of, okay, if you do it appropriately, okay, appropriately from the first to the end, it doesn't mean that there is the absolute one. Okay, there are many HR metric you can use. Some, there are one book lah, I forgot the book, they have 15 HR metric. 15, the metric. Some only have 7. Some only has 5. Okay, they have a lot of HR metric. It depends on the employee or on the employer preferences. Kan tadi I already giving to you. It depends on your preferences. Okay, you prefer only to use 5 of that element. Okay, you decided and putting in your HR policy. If you only prefer 3, you take it only 3. If you prefer 11, all of that, you take it all 11. Okay, some industry, maybe they have only 5, they need only 5. Okay. The benefit of this HR metric, you can overcome all the process easily because you have a model. You have a model and putting on your employee handbook and also to your HR policy and procedures. Okay. Otherwise, it's not easy for you to control it. Okay, that is the good one, which is why you need this HR metric. Okay, in other way, if you not having this HR metric, sometimes the bias or on decision making are coming out, it turn up to be a problem for you when you want to investigate. You want to make decision on finishing or terminating the employees. Okay, so for me lah, the pro on having this good metric is to overcome the solution on not to follow the employment law. Okay, right. So I don't have any problem. Any regarding the assignment, any trouble on that? Ada masalah? Tak ada kan?
So far, okay, Prof.
Okay, for the midterm, I will open the midterm starting midterm supposed to be next week. Okay? Next week after you finish unit number 5 and 6. Okay, I will up the midterm. Okay, sebenarnya dah siap dah midterm ni. Tinggal buka je. Up to midterm and the final exam paper is already done. Okay, already done final exam papers. So thank you very much. Okay, attendance tak apa, saya akan updatekan dalam minggu ni. Termasuk yang semalam.
Prof, meaning midterm this after finish unit 5 and 6, meaning this Monday lah kan? Kita ada kelas Monday malam kan?
Monday malam. Declare Monday malam. Okay.
Isnin 8:30 if I'm not mistaken.
Monday is 1st kan? 1st April.
Ada. Betul. Based on
Confirm Prof, 1st April, bukan April Fool Prof.
Sekejap, saya check. Yo, please check.
Monday.
8:30 malam. Dalam kita normal kalender, dia log as 8:30 PM.
Ya, betul. Yep.
1st April Monday, 8:30.
Prof.
Oh, okay lah. Okay.
So I have a question here. Pertaining the assignments, if you select the topic number 3 is about flexibility of and to measure work flexibility to measure the employee performance, which affect the employee performance. Okay, you see nowadays the term of employee is more referring to under salary, and the work flexibility is applied to many of the people across the different sector, or even the gig workers, gig economists, or even some of those property agents, insurance agents, They may not be referring themselves as an employee because they are not salary workers, and then they could be self-employed. Okay, so can I pick these topics and then to discuss instead of the employee performance, we can drill further to people performance into the people from the low income quadrant, which is from the employee, self-employed, or those business owners. Business owners, sometimes they are also an employee to the company. They carry multi cross-functional identity within themselves. Or even some investor also, they could be they are employee to the fund company, investment company, but at the meantime also they are investor themselves. They have a cross multi identity in across these income quadrants.
Yes. So
is
think
it okay to discuss this topic?
I don't have
Yes, sir.
any issue on that, but is how you want to interpret in terms of flexibility in that. Okay, you must interpret it based on the question that I give. Make sure that
okay
the result on answering the question that I mentioned in that question number 3. Is it okay? As long as you can answer.
If I based on the
as long as you can answer the question, it's okay for me. Okay?
As long as can answer. Can answer, but I afraid the term that you use in the employee performance is different from what I define. I define myself as employee, but at the meantime also I'm self-employed, I'm investor, I'm also business owner, you see. So but I treat myself as employee when I work to the company, to my own company. So this cross identity happens within me, and I believe it happens within a lot of people as well.
Jason, can you answer the question on the view on the employee, on the view of investor, on the view of employer, and on the view on some kind of partner of the investor? So it's quite interesting if you can do that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for your permission. Take this challenge.
Right.
Don't fail me, Prof.
No lah. No.
Because the term is employee over there, it might confuse the readers to the question. You see. Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Right. Thank you very much to all of you. Okay, for the attendance. I will. Yes.
So just to confirm, kita cuma ada satu je group assignment kan? That discussion punya.
Ya, itu saja.
And we submit as a group. Any one of us can submit ke?
Anyone. Tapi it's better for you to never mind lah. I will try to figure out the name, and then I look back randomly who's the business leader lah. Saya tengok ada satu stigma pada nama, saya letak jadi leader. Senang.
I mean, okay. And then apa ni? No presentation.
Group saya dah ada leader dah, Prof. Macam mana?
Group mana? Group apa? Kejap. Saya check. Okey lah, kita decide leader lah, senang kan dekat sini. Dia ada kelas kan? Ada kelas lepas ni kan?
Ada. Esok.
Hari ni tak ada kelas?
Tak ada, Prof. Esok baru ada.
Kita decide leader lah, senang dalam saya buka. Senang. Okey, group 1, siapa leader? Come on. Kejap. Huda. Fairuz.
Kalau tak jawab tu Prof petik Prof.
Fairuz.
Okey. Group 2, saya tengok nama ada stigma ni. Zalina kot. Zalina boleh tak? Zalina. Ibu ni lah. Ahmad Farid. And then nama stigma
Ashraf boleh.
Tugas leader sebenarnya apa, Prof?
Hantar assignment je. And then Izani.
Ashraf.
Ashraf? Huh?
Group Ashraf boleh.
Tiga.
Mana dia tu? Demo as leader.
Ashraf. Yep. Thank you.
Ashraf. And then ni grup 4 ni siapa? Syamala, Satana. Mana satu?
Mana-mana bang.
Tiga.
Mana-mana.
Mana-mana Prof, suka hati je.
Yang mula-mula lah Then group discussion 5.
Anisha Dewi, Prof.
Anisha.
Anisha.
And then Najmi.
Group 6, Akshara.
Najmi.
Sorry, Prof.
Alfera.
Group 6 is Akshara, yes.
Akshara.
Yes.
Akshara. Oh, kenapa dia jadi macam tu? Aku pelik lah.
Lambat lah, Prof.
Group 7.
Nak tunggu grup 35 ni lambat, Prof.
Siti Nur Syafiqah.
Ya alert lah Group Nur Syafiqah. Aduh, pening ni. Tak apalah, leader boleh WhatsApp saya tak? Senang cerita. Nanti saya
Baru nak suggest Prof.
Baru nak, betul.
Tunggu 2 hari tak habis.
Boleh. Prof, submission kena
WhatsApp personal.
WhatsApp personal.
Prof, kena in ke submission ke tak payah?
Submission submit je lah dekat discussion tu.
So tak payah turn it in
Discussion tak payah turn it in.
Okay.
That's why lah I nak you bercerita within you on the discussion and then you provide the good one. Kan?
Oh, okay. Sorry. I misunderstood. I thought we had to based on the discussion tu kita.
Discussion tak ada turn it in. The only assignment yang tak ada turn it in is discussion.
Okay. Alright.
Right. Okay. Bagi ada kebebasan sedikit kan. Asyik nak jumut jangan pening. Right.
Jadi Prof evaluate akan tengok kita punya forum discussion lah begitu.
Ada setengahnya hantar using PDF. Terima juga. Okay, there is no format on discussion sebenarnya. You jawab je kat situ. Your friend nak jawab. You discuss you jawab di antara you, your discussion tu. You jawab lah. Jawab ni. Dalam text box pun boleh. Use dalam text box. Text kan ada jawab dalam text box. Reply jawab. Tak puas hati dengan kawan. You reply balik. Jawab. Dah habis cerita.
Okay, so final product tak perlu essay daripada group discussion ni kita output sebagai essay tak payah.
I will looking in your discussion in there also.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So make it a open constructive discussion lah dalam tu, Prof.
Yes.
Meaning to say.
Dalam tu. Within your group only. Within your group. Kalau ramai-ramai nanti saya juling biji mata nak tengok jawapan.
Prof. Okay, just to double confirm back again. Okay, alright. For discussion only is the group assignment. For paper critic and terms paper, both is individual.
Yes.
Okay, alright. Thank you, Prof.
You are lucky.
Deadline 21st April, Prof.
Yeah. 3 assignment and 1 midterm.
Thank you, Prof.
Before this, your friend they have 11 assignment.
Thank you, Prof.
Enough already.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof. Tolong menolong lah kan.
Doctor, nak tanya, for the assignment, so when we upload into this UROX, it should be in Words or PDF?
Better PDF. Easily for the Turnitin to check.
Okay, when we submit to the Turnitin, when we upload, it will straight away detect the percentage of plagiarism, AI, everything?
You can see the Turnitin.
We can see the results on the spot lah. And then if let's say some we discover is high percentage or whatever, then we can resubmit again or multiple times.
You can resubmit 2 times, you can get the result of Turnitin on the spot. But on the 3rd time, you need to wait 24 hours.
So after 24 hours, then it will be instant again for 2 times.
Yeah, 2 times instant. On the 3rd time, you need to wait next day, the result of the Turnitin.
Okay. So it means in overall we should submit earlier few days to try and error ourselves lah. Can I say so?
No, you can go to Turnitin and submit yourself also.
Yeah, if you have your Turnitin by yourself, you have your Turnitin, you buy from the Shopee or what.
But the Shopee, they have limitation. I test already. It's different than the master account. Master Turnitin account and the sub Turnitin is actually different. I tested. Thanks.
You need to check that some of the Shopee facility is good because I buy before this only how many ringgit only, and then they only giving me package Turnitin on my particular document, but no AI detector.
Yeah. AI only exists in master account.
Yes.
So which means that when we submitted through the Eurox one, there will be is considered master account, is it, doctor?
Yes, master account.
Okay,
You
so
can
we can
see-
submit multiple time lah. Okay, thanks.
Okay, all right.